Welcome to New Orleans. Everybody welcome Governor Bel Edwards to the great city of New Orleans. 40 years ago, this campaign started off very differently. People wondered whether this man could be elected governor in the state of Louisiana, and he was. Because of the people of the great state of Louisiana coming together, turning out to the polls, and supporting somebody who would put Louisiana first. And on the first day of office, he made one of the biggest decisions that he would ever make as governor, and he put 450,000 Louisiana citizens back on the health care rolls and made sure that they had access to health care. And on that same first day, a whole group of politicians in Baton Rouge said they were going to do whatever they could do to make sure that this governor was not successful on that first day. And guess what? They failed. They failed because no matter what it took, this governor kept plugging away. This governor kept working. He kept putting people first. He put education first. He put college first. He put teachers first. He put workers first. He put the people of the state of Louisiana first. And he accomplished amazing things for the people of the city of New Orleans and for the people of the state of Louisiana. And now it's time for us to all come together and make sure that he can do it for 4 more years. Bel Edwards.
You're a beautiful sight this morning in New Orleans, Louisiana for me and for Donna. And I want to thank you for coming out. I want to thank you for partnering with us as we have transformed our state. And look, this is not a pleasant thing to do, but it's important. Think back to where Louisiana was 4 years ago. The economy was in shambles. The state was in the ditch. My predecessor had inherited $1.5 billion surplus, left me with a $2 billion deficit, and still squandered another $3 billion of trust funds over the same 8 years, while we cut higher education more than any other state in the nation, raised tuition more than any other state in the nation, and then think about where we are today. That's why I'm really proud. When I ran for governor, I said, we're going to put Louisiana first. We're going to do common sense things to just put Louisiana first. We've done that. Walt told you, the very first day, I signed an executive order, and as a result today, about 455,000 working poor people in Louisiana have health insurance. Many of them for the first time in their lives. So think about this. Elections have consequences, but it wasn't just the last election that has consequences. This one's going to have consequences too. Because either we're going to stay on the road that we're on toward more opportunity and more prosperity, or we're going to get right back in the ditch. Because the two folks running against me, they've already said they like my predecessor. They like the way things were in 2015. By the way, I don't think they can sell that to the people of Louisiana. I don't believe the people of Louisiana want to go back to where we were, so God bless them with that. But elections have consequences. And I want to tell you, that $2 billion deficit, one of the reasons we were able to solve this is because we saved hundreds of millions of dollars because we brought our tax dollars home and expanded Medicaid. Now, 455,000 or so across the state, 50,000 right here in Orleans Parish, another 40,000 in Jefferson Parish, 20,000 in St. Tammany Parish with health insurance. And of that number, about 292,000 are women with health insurance. 70,000 of whom have already had breast exams that they wouldn't have had otherwise. Unfortunately, 700 have been diagnosed with breast cancer. But you know what? At least they know they've got it. They know it earlier, and they get treatment. They get a chance to live. It's just the right thing to do. And And unlike all the other states across the South, the state hasn't had a single rural hospital closure, not one.
Amen.
Because of Medicaid. And about 100,000 people have received inpatient and outpatient mental health services. Another 40,000 inpatient and outpatient drug and alcohol substance abuse treatment. So this is just the right thing to do for our state. And we're able to turn the corner because that deficit has given way to surpluses because our economy is performing so well. I'm going to, because my opponents are going to try to tell you everything is bad. Of course, that's what they have to do, right?
Yeah.
But these are the facts. The economy in the state of Louisiana has never been bigger than it is today by gross domestic product. Personal income has never been larger than it is today. And by the way, our growth in personal income is ahead of the national average and ahead of our neighboring states, including Texas right now. Now, you're not going to hear that coming from the other side. We also know that per capita debt is decreasing for the first time in 10 years. And by the way, you're going to hear for the first time in 10 years a lot today because we have finally turned the corner in the state of Louisiana. Bobby Jindal is so far in the rearview mirror today, we can just about forget about it. Okay? So for the first time in 10 years, we gave our teachers a pay raise this year. For the first time in 10 years, a net new investment in higher education this year. We funded early childhood education with an additional $20 million this year. And all the things that I'm telling you about, we increased the general fund expenditures by exactly 1%. By 1%. Because we're doing things honestly. The days of smoke and mirrors and budget gimmicks are all gone. We're being responsible in the state of Louisiana today. And we're all benefiting from it. Now, there's some other things that are going on that are really good. I will tell you, I'm very proud of the fact that for the first time, our state came together. Republicans and Democrats and independents, the business community, everybody from the Koch brothers to the ACLU, and we passed comprehensive criminal justice reform in the state of Louisiana. I told you we would do it. Now, it's not for the faint of heart because for decades Louisiana was on the same path. We know that we weren't safer. We were spending more than we could afford. But no politician in the history of Louisiana was ever punished for being tough on crime. But it was not a smart thing to do. And so we summoned the political will and the courage to lead an effort where in 2017 I signed 10 bills into law. And I can tell you we are safer. We are reinvesting the savings that we are accumulating into criminal justice reform, things like anti-recidivism efforts, more support for victims of crime. But this year we're going to push about $3 million of savings into the juvenile justice arena. And I can tell you, for the first time in decades, and by the way, I told you, by the end of my first term, we would not have the nation's highest incarceration rate. Guess what? We do not have the nation's highest incarceration rate. And I will tell you that we're being good partners with people across the state of Louisiana. This year, I was so happy to work with the mayor here in New Orleans and the council, the legislative delegation, and pass 3 bills, the fair share bills, to make sure that there's a recurring source of revenue, about $26 million on an annual basis, to go into the infrastructure in New Orleans to make sure the streets drain and that the water flows when you turn on the spigots and so forth. Incredibly important. On top of that, through cooperative endeavor agreements with the state of Louisiana, there'll be another $50 million up front to help manage cash flow as we transition over to Sewage and Water Board. So it's very, very important because we have all these people who live and work and who visit New Orleans. It is a critical part of the economy for the state of Louisiana, and we have to have good infrastructure here. Speaking of infrastructure, around the state of Louisiana this year in the legislature, we decided we were going to invest another $700 million in transportation infrastructure, the largest investment in 30 years. Now, this is on top. This is on top of our normal program. In New Orleans, we know we're going to be buying cranes for the Port of New Orleans, for example. Also, speaking of infrastructure, the day I became governor, even though plans were well underway and construction starting for a new terminal at the airport, $1 billion terminal, there was not $1 appropriated and no environmental clearance for the interchange at I-10 to get into and out of the airport. Well, guess what? We've already let a contract. We have let a contract to build that flyover in and out of the New Orleans airport. So look, I'm not sitting here today telling you that we don't have challenges in Louisiana, because we do. But what I am telling you is the state is a hell of a lot better off today than we were 4 years ago. And I believe our best days are still yet to come, and we are going to be in a position of strength to attack the remaining challenges. We know we have to do better. You know, for example, I've been telling you this for a long time, and I'm embarrassed by it. I'm offended by it. We still have the nation's largest pay gap by gender in the country. That is unconscionable. We need to change that. The minimum wage in our state is still the federally prescribed $7.25 an hour. That is insufficient in 2019. We need to do something about that. We've got to continue to work to improve health outcomes, educational outcomes. And by the way, this is the number one priority for a new term. Not the only priority, but the number one will be early childhood education, because that is how we started. This is how we will finally close the achievement gap in education and improve the outcomes, because we have too many kids starting kindergarten and they're not ready to learn. Yes. And we need to decrease that number so that fewer kids start in that way, and we know we'll do better going forward. And that's not a difference that stays with those kids just for a year or two. It stays with them all through their school years, which means all of their lives. And so we know we can do this, but we have to, again, summon the courage to do it. So I'm excited about this campaign. You know, I've been on a couple of TV stations already this morning, and I'm going to WWL radio. We'll be in Houma tonight. We're going to be all over the state the next few days. I am excited about this race because I'm excited about this state. And I know that the people around our state, they know we're better off. They tell me. They tell me that we're better off. That their families are better off. And there is nothing more gratifying than that when you're the governor of a state like Louisiana and you meet people and they tell you. But we cannot take anything for granted. Elections have consequences. Now, you don't have to guess at what my opponents would do, because they're telling you. They told you that a couple of years ago they would have just cut $2 billion. They would not have tried to shore up our state and stabilize our state. So health care would not look like it looks today in Louisiana. Education would not look like it does. Our teachers would not be getting the first pay raise in 10 years if they had been in office. So we cannot entrust our future to people who think like Bobby Jindal. And by the way, they supported him not just while he was governor, they supported him to be president in 2015. I'm telling you, I mean, that ought to be an automatic disqualifier. But they literally did. You know, we can do better than that in Louisiana, and the people of Louisiana know it. And as far as the Medicaid expansion that has improved the lives and the economy of the state of Louisiana so much, Ralph Abraham voted to take it away 7 times. That was back when he still voted. That was back when he was still going to work. You know? So our state is better and we're going to be better. But we've got to stay on the path that we're on. That is the lesson. That is a lesson, because it is a short distance between the roadway and the ditch. We've been in the ditch. We know what that looks like. We know what that feels like. That's not where we want to be. So I'm asking you to work for the next 3 months. And let's get this thing done. And let's make sure that Louisiana continues to stay on the road, continues the momentum we have, so that we can leave our state the way we want it to be for our children, so that they have opportunity and prosperity. And if I have said nothing here today to get you excited about this race, to make you want to go out and work for the next 3 months to get me reelected as your governor, that's fine. Just go out and do it anyway so Donna can be your first lady. It is still true that the last person I speak to every night is a teacher. And I will tell you, Donna has been tremendous. And she's leading the effort in things that you don't read about in the paper, because these are not the sexy things to sell paper. But we've actually had all-time records each of the last 3 years in adoptions out of the foster care program. Think about that. This year, we actually extended the age of foster care to 21 because there's nothing magical about 18. We did that. She's working so hard to make sure that we are distinguishing between victims of human trafficking and criminals, and we're rescuing and restoring the victims, and she works hard on that. She's making sure that we're doing more in our schools around teaching music, art, and movement. Can you imagine Louisiana? Can you imagine Louisiana without strong roots in music? No. I mean, the Kinfolk Brass Band, they're excellent. They're excellent. We need music in Louisiana. By the way, kids who study music and art, they do better in science and in math and in English and in foreign languages. We know that. So she's doing great work as the First Lady. I couldn't be more proud of her. And I couldn't be more proud of all of you for coming out today, partnering with me in this campaign, so that together we're going to win. You know, Walt said this a while ago, and by the way, I want to thank Walt because he's term limited out of the legislature. He has been a tremendous member of the legislature. A former colleague and in the legislature, and now your council chairperson, Elena Moreno, is here. I want to thank Elena for her. Randall Gaines is here from all the way over in St. John the Baptist there. I think Councilman Jay Banks has joined us. And Roy Steve-Justice, thank you, Jay. And Roy Steve-Justice is here, another wonderful member of the New Orleans Legislative Delegation. I will tell you, they have all been tremendous partners with me, and I appreciate their work. We're going to keep it going. Yes. You know, 4 years ago, there were a lot of people who doubted whether I could win. And in fact, I think that guy gave rise to the title of the book written on that campaign called The Long Shot. There is nobody out there today who says I can't win. Because if you look at the polls, if you just go out and you talk to people, if you can objectively compare and contrast where we are today with where we were 4 years ago, you know good and well that I can win. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It ain't that I can win. I will win. I will win this election. And actually, not I. We will win. Because when I win, the people will win, because we're going to continue to put Louisiana first. We're still going to do things that are common sense and things that just make our state better. We're going to treat people the way that people ought to be treated. And the discourse coming out of Baton Rouge, under my leadership, will never look like it does coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to continue to work on a bipartisan basis to affect real, positive, lasting, transformative change in the state of Louisiana. So stick with us. Be excited, be encouraged, not just about the campaign, but about our state. And I want to again thank you so much for coming here today. God bless you. Stay engaged. And by the way, you all have been asking me, where are the signs? Where are the bumper stickers? They're here. Take the signs and take the bumper stickers. Let's put them out there and let's make a show of it. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you.